I always think it's fun to see other people's projects. This is one of those that I really enjoyed making. It was for a swap at Loaded Envelopes Galore, a Facebook group. And I was floored because whenever I joined the group, I didn't really know that much about loaded envelopes. And these ladies are so talented. And I didn't even think about shapes for envelopes. And this specific swap was for a loaded envelope that was heart-shaped. And they did give a fantastic tutorial that you could follow, or you could design your own. In this case, it just so happened that I had this great big Sizzix Pro die. It was a ribbon heart shape, and that's what this outline is. And instead of using paper, I decided to use chipboard. So the lady that I'm swapping with, his name is Valentine, which made me so happy. And if you've ever had something happen that you just go, wow, that's pretty cool. Her name is Valentine, and she lives on Friends Way. I won't say city or state because I want to protect her identity, but I just thought, how cool is that to be named Valentine, be on Friends Way? And I couldn't have selected a better, well, not selected, but been given a better partner. She's so kind and fun, and we've chatted, and I think that's one of the best parts about swapping is to get to know the person that you're swapping with, and to just share a few messages, a few likes, and that type of thing, so you can get to know each other. On this swap, though, I thought I'd just go through and pull out some things and just show you what I created. That's the way I get my inspiration, as I go through videos and I see some things that other people have created, and I thought, I want to make that too. I'm just getting over a cold, so I still have this horrible, nasty voice, so hopefully you'll deal with me. Some of the requirements for the swap, I didn't have everything, and so I decided to make things I didn't have. And one of those things was at least a 3x4 frame with a picture of what perhaps represented love or romance to you. So instead I just used these, I'm sorry, I'm trying a new lighting, and so I can see it's like glaring everywhere. One of these days I'll get the lighting down. I don't think I've ever made a video that I was happy with the lighting, or the sound, or my hands all scratched up from my kitties, but there's always something going on with them. But for the frame, I decided to use Anna Griffin dies, and that's where all these great shapes came from. And the Crafter's Companion luxury cardstock is what most of this is, why it's all shiny. And that is some of the best cardstock I've ever seen that uses, to make die cuts out of. I love that stuff. Yeah, it's white on the back, and everybody would love to have double-sided paper, but for the cost, it's amazing. You can get like 60 sheets for like $19 of the really shiny good stuff, and usually it comes in packages that are a matte shine and a gloss shine and a glitter paper for each individual color. So in this case, and since I didn't have any images and my printer is horrible and I'm trying to save some money, so I'm trying to use what's in my stash, which when I say stash, it's basically a hoard, and I don't think I'm alone in that. I think that most crafters, I have been crafting for a long time, and I've been crafting since before my son was born, and he's 20 now. We've collected things, and generally we have stuff in our stash where we're like, hey, that was too pretty, I couldn't use it. So now we got all this wonderful stuff that's getting a little outdated, so ladies, pull it out and use it. Anyway, in this case, little filigree that came in a swap. I believe it was Mary Seaver who sent me this as one of my Cats Meow, which is a group called Mini Album Scraps. They just switched over to a free group where you don't have to pay to be a member. You'd have to pay, of course, for your own postage. It's another great group, but there's a lot of things in here that if I say mass or Mini Album Scraps, that's that group. So die cut, Tim Holtz, cut out chipboard, and I just created my own box to make a frame with. And to make it more like a frame, I used the small easel die from Tim Holtz, so it does stand up. And that way you can have a nice little picture. I'm also one of those people that, I'm sorry about this glare, I'm also one of those people that don't mind if I see that somewhere down the road you've given part of my swap away to someone else. Great, do it. If you've taken mine apart and used parts, do it. That's what it's all about, is to get something, be totally excited, and to see what you get and see what you can create and just keep creating. To me, that's what swapping is all about. And of course, you always have to have candy. I went the cheap route. Sorry, Valentine. It's all the heart, $1. But hey, I love M&Ms. So I thought I'd just take this apart and show you just piece by piece what I've created. Just a basic heart. I took 2 of the Tim Holtz. This is a die. I forget what it's called. It's like it comes with a little cupid-y thing, I think. Took 2, stuck them together back and forth. Again, I apologize for my voice. Can't help it. And I just put a cheap little clippy on there, straight from eBay, where you get like 100 for 10 cents if you bid right. This is my favorite thing in the swap. I don't know if you can get a really good clear picture of it. But what happened with this one was I had the great big clip, and you can find those usually at like Tuesday Morning or somewhere. They can get a little costly, so be careful where you get those. And this great wing mold that I got from Amazon. It comes with 3 different wings on it. It is a very large mold. I think that was probably the most expensive mold I've ever bought. I think it was like $12. And then someone had sent me some little resin angels, and I don't know who the manufacturer of them was, but I made several of my own molds out of that, and so I use those all the time. Gold leafing. If you're ever looking for cheap gold leafing, again, it's eBay. And if you go through and you just bid on some things, it comes in 4 of these little things. I think I got 4 of these little things of different colored leafings for like 56 cents. I'm one of those people who likes to bid on things. I look for free shipping and cheapness because I'm poor. And even though I wish I could support all these really nice companies, a lot of times not all of us can afford that. So don't be afraid. Just go on, search, get some free shipping, get some cheap things. Some things you'll win, some things you won't, and it makes it worth it on eBay. So anyway, that's just gold leafing and glue, because I'm not a know-it-all whenever it comes to stuff like this, so I just try and error. But I thought, what a great bookmark that is. I don't know. Can you see it? If I take this up too close, is it going to make everybody like scared that things are getting up close to the surface? Probably. Okay, and then these I've had these forever. Got them from Walmart in the clearance probably years ago. Forgot I even had them. Just put a couple little fun gifts in there for Valentine. And Anna Griffin bow die is where that is, and is what that is. And then there's these little flat back embellishments. I think they were white, and I just used some paint and made it a black one. These are pre-made little wands that I found at Walmart. And at first I was like, you know, who wants a pre-made wand? And then I looked at them and I'm like, I want a pre-made wand. But I did add a few things to them to make them more mine. Isn't this the coolest thing ever? I love this for Valentine's Day. It was a $1 heart covered in like this fluffy glitter stuff. And I just added a big bow and added some, this is actually vintage trim, and I just glued it onto the stick, but I thought it was just too cool to pass up. Look how cool it is. Okay, these, the same thing. I think these were like 50 cents. Add a little Anna Griffin bow to it and some of the vintage trim to make it more fun. These came in a set where you got like, oh, it's all stuck together. Let me unclip it. When you can do it. Oh, you're still in there. Okay. So these came in like a set, again, at Walmart. Had like 3 of these little itty bitty hearts and 2 of these bigger ones. And just to make it a little bit special, I added a piece of filigree, of gold filigree that I had cut off of a Christmas ornament that had gotten a little bit smushed. So cut the little pieces off. It's sort of fun when you do save things and you go back and realize, hey, I used it. I finally used it. I've had it in my stash forever. Okay, and a little Anna Griffin bow die out of one of her card kits. Oh, and this, okay, this was actually on a bow on another swap that I received a long time ago. Well, not a long time ago, I think it was a few months ago, and I saved the bow, and I'm like, okay, gotta use it too. It matched it perfect. This was just a little flower clippy. Got it from eBay. Like I said, easy peasy. Find all these little things. Some things were only like 5 cents, some things 6 cents. Don't hesitate to bid just a few cents on things that are free shipping on eBay, and sometimes you get them. A lot of ladies say, where do you guys all get your embellishments? And yeah, some of us go to Hobby Lobby. Sometimes we can use coupons and go to Michael's or Joann's or any of those great places. But don't forget there are a lot of cheap sources too, because I've had a lot of friends say, I just can't afford that kind of stuff. I wish I could, but I can't. Well, I can't either, ladies. And so what happens is I set aside like a $5 little budget for myself every month, and I go on eBay, and yeah, a lot of people say, oh yeah, but you need to support local businesses. I wish I could, and sometimes I can't, and when I can, I do buy local. But when I can't, yep, straight from China, free shipping, 5 cents. If you bid on them, I only look for things that say free shipping. I'll put in like 2, 3, even 6 cents, and sometimes you get them, and when you do, you just pay for them, and it does take a while to get them in, so be prepared to not get them when you want them. But just that way you can add to your stash and you can have a few things put back for those future swaps that's coming in. Right now is a great time to start stocking up for Halloween. So, okay, gotta have more candy. And who doesn't like a chocolate heart? I mean, a chocolate rose. I love those things. Okay, these fun stuff. Again, these are just pieces of things that people have sent to me, and I don't know where some of them came from or where all of them came from. I think this was some kind of pendant, and I made a mold out of it, and I did just put used a Krylon gold leafing pen and on all of these to make them just like a fun little kit of embellishments that hopefully Valentine can use on some of her future projects. I've always loved this embossing folder. I've had it for quite a while, and to be honest, I'm not sure whose it is. It might be an Anna Griffin one. Fun stuff though. Fun stuff. This is one of my most favorite wands I've ever made. And it was probably one of the most simple ones. I just used a little bit of leftover batting that my mother-in-law was going to throw away because she's quite the seamstress, quite the quilter. And I grabbed this little piece she was going to throw away, wrapped it up in a little piece of felt that she was also going to throw away about 2 or 3 years ago, and put a little lace around it. And these are the Anna Griffin, I think they are called ornate fan dies. So there's 2 of those on the front and then 2 on the back. So I could double layer them. That way there's 4 of them cut out again into the luxury cardstock from Crafter's Companion. This is a really old, I think it's K & Company, little ephemera, little cherub. She's so cute. I just love her. And I'm sorry for all the glare, trying to avoid it, can't help it. And I just painted this, it's just a wooden dowel. I just painted it black. Again, one of their little resin angels. He's so pretty. Like some, it could be, I don't know, it's a cute little baby. Look how cute. Okay. One of the requirements for the swap was an envelope or little bag of ephemera or dies or stickers, and so I just cut out a variety of dies, of little Valentine dies that I have, so that hopefully she can use those in the future. You know, it's always fun too when you're doing these kind of projects. Put a fun little topper on some or all of your bags. Make it look like you put forth a little bit of effort. All the ladies that you will swap with are all wonderful, and I think everyone does their best, but we all improve. And I know I have. I've looked at some of the things I've sent to people in the past and thought, oh my goodness, now I'm sort of embarrassed. But we all grow and we all improve, and you know, making little fun toppers for people, that makes it a little bit better when you get something fun. It shows that you put forth a lot of effort. And this is just a little fun thing. Little gorgeous doll. The requirements were for 3. I'm so sorry for this glare. I've got to figure out how to fix that. One of the requirements was also 3 Valentine tags. I won't take these out. These were tags. I'm grateful that I had made them. I made them a little while back when Tim Holtz was doing his 12 tags of, and I had made these Valentine tags using some embossing folder, not embossing folders, some embossing paste. And this is just a card that came in a pack, and you know, I'm not sure what country they're from because I don't know what the symbols are, but it was just a beautiful set of cards. Inside these other 3 are just a couple of vintage photos that I found at a secondhand store, so it's all the same theme almost, but just a little different colors. And then you had to have 1 large tag, and so on Mass, we do a lot of Julie Nutting tags, and I love Julie Nutting dot tags. And I usually make one for myself, and then I wonder, why do you make it for yourself and then you just stuff it in a drawer and you never use it? So in this case, I'm using it. And I love to put fabric on my Julie Nutting dolls. Well, let's see if I can get this out of this glare here. You can see it. Anyway, I put real doll hair on her. She has a Spanish, I can't remember what they're called now. I'm sorry about my little black finger. That's just actually ink where I've refilled my printer cartridge. But she has the whole Spanish little dress on, and this was a stamp that says, "Listen to your heart." So it makes it a little bit Valentine-y, and it sort of matches the theme a little. Oh, again, another thing I made for me, but I didn't ever use. And so it was just perfect to pass along in this Valentine swap. It was a stick pin swap at Mini Album Scraps, and I had made this set for me and made 3 sets for this swap. I wish you could hear the glare. But I had used resin and made resin pieces for the tops of my pins. This was a vintage brooch that I had made a mold out of, and then there's just some pins and a little corset and some fun little beads, and put in a little decorative top on it. Oh, and a little baggie with just some threads and some ribbons. Yeah, fun stuff. And these are little spools. This is a die called Spools by Sizzix, and it's great just to put little pieces up to a yard or two of thread or ribbon on. Again, a swap where I made myself a copy. Sorry, I had it. Well, actually, this one I'm just now trying. This is a Chunky Charm Dangle swap at Mass, so I made an extra one for Valentine. This one I actually made for Valentine, so hey, there you go. So I made an extra one. Little key inside of a little bottle. Giant jingle bell left over from Christmas. Again, I'm sorry for my voice. Great big rose. I love that. It's so heavy. I mean, this is just, it's like solid metal. It's huge, feels like concrete. So anyway, lots of fun little, I always call this sort of a steampunky heart. It's got like little wings on it. Just lots and lots of, oh, way too close, you can't see it. Okay. Refocus, there you go. Just lots and lots of dangles. This is a super chunky charm dangle. At many of them scraps, almost all the charm dangle swaps are super chunky charm dangles. I remember the very first one I joined there, I did a normal charm dangle. I was so proud of it. And then when I got back all the other ladies, I was like, holy cow, theirs are like 10 times bigger than mine. So now I'm all into the chunky charm dangles too. Theirs are still usually better than mine, but hey, I give it a good shot and they put up with me. Just fun, fun, fun stuff. Also, one of the requirements for the swap was a clothespin, little decorate clothespin. And this was actually a clothespin that I got in a swap, and I just added a heart to it. And then one of them was for another clothespin, so this was a gold glitter clothespin. Added a, dropped it in, I think it was a Martha Stewart little bow, another one of those, and just covered it in glitter. Use it for just about anything. I think that might be it that's on there. So this is what's left of my actual envelope, or BoxElope as I call it, because it's extremely sturdy. I put a ribbon on it, so should she decide to, Valentine can hang this on the wall and have this to hold Valentines, and to hold bills, whatever. This is a very, I don't know, you can tell it's not going to bend and break easy. It'll be a surprise if it bends and breaks. These are actually little vintage roses from a secondhand store that I picked up. These are anyway. These rounded ones are from Treasure Deluxe, and I just changed. I'll probably say it wrong. It's probably supposed to be sounding a lot prettier than that, but I just dipped them with some alcohol ink and touched them up with a Krylon gold pen. And you can see how thick it is. And I put some ribbon. It's just got some light beading on it. The requirements did require for it to have, you know, the initial pocket and a second pocket. So what I did was I cut 2 of these, of the ribbon hearts, out of heavy chipboard. Then I just made a strip to go in between to form a heart shape. These are the Anna Griffin fan die, one of the fan dies, and I bent it to where it makes a poof. You gotta have a poof. And I did put different papers on the inside because I really wasn't sure what I was doing at first, so I put different color papers. So, and this is the gold UT Ranger embossing UT, or ultra thick embossing enamel. And if you look inside here, there's red roses in there as well on the paper. This is sort of a metal wiry wiry ribbon, so you can bend it and shape it. But it just turned out really fun, really pretty. Just some inexpensive black lace there. How fun. Little beads. And my very favorite part and last part I will show you is that about 3 years ago, my husband bought me a box of chocolates, which he usually does for Valentine's Day because he's like, oh man, and they all go to Walmart, you know, at the end, but it's still meaningful to me. He bought me a box of chocolates for Valentine's Day, and I thought, you know, just one of those basic it was a heart-shaped box, and it had the roses on it. And I thought, yeah, that's just so pretty. I gotta save it and add it to my hoard. I will use it someday. And finally that day came. So I added some ultra thick embossing enamel onto it, stuck it on the back, and now Valentine, it's gonna be part of your Valentine. Thanks for checking out my stuff.